Let's talk about morning routines and the one thing that you should do every morning. Spoiler, it doesn't involve cold plunges or meditation. If you've been on YouTube these past few years, you've probably come across a lot of people trying to persuade you that they have figured out the best morning routine. These morning routines apparently unlock a ton of things like money, health, productivity, well-being. They wake up super early at 4 a.m. They do push-ups and squats and chug a glass of cold water. Then they go to the gym. They come back, they take a cold shower or do a cold plunge. They meditate for 30 minutes. They read a book about entrepreneurship, obviously. Then they journal for another 30 minutes. And then they make a breakfast with 12 eggs. But does it really work? Like, do you really need all of that to be successful, to have a good day? The answer is obviously no. But there is some truth to morning productivity. And in this video, I want to unpack it and show you how I tried several different morning routines and explain what worked and what didn't work for just a regular guy like me. When I first came across all those videos, I was like, this is interesting. I want to do the same. And so I set up a pretty strict routine, and this is what it looked like. I would set my alarm for 6 a.m. Then I'd stand up right away, go to the bathroom, drink some fresh water. Then I would do push-ups and squats to wake up my body. Then I would go downstairs and meditate for 10 to 15 minutes. When the meditation was done, I would either journal or read a book. This was the morning routine that I tried to follow for a little over a year. And I said try to follow because you see, at first glance, this looks very reasonable. There's no 4 a.m. run. There's no like cold plunge that you have to do in the winter when it's freezing outside. It looks manageable, it looks doable, but there's a catch. At the time, I had 2 little kids. I still have them, but they have grown now. I had a lot of work at my day job, and I would try to go to the office as early as possible. And last, I had a badminton practice 2 to 3 days a week till 10 p.m. And so the next morning, I was obviously tired. So what ended up happening is one of 3 things. A lot of the mornings, I was tired, either because of practice or because the kids didn't sleep well. They slept really bad, or it was just a combination of both. On mornings where I did sleep well and I didn't have the practice the night before, I was feeling pretty refreshed. I would wake up and start my routine, but every so often during my meditation, I would be interrupted by a crying baby or my wife blow-drying her hair, which, you know, are things that happen in a household in the morning. And third, when the baby slept well, when it didn't cry, when my wife would sleep in, where I had no interruption, nothing, I had all the time I needed, then I ran into a bigger problem, something more profound. And that is that I just didn't think that it helped me. I would wake up, do the push-ups and journal, but I would always think about my day, think about what I had to do at the office, if there were any special events that day, and I would often try to rush the routine to be finished as soon as possible, to be able to go out of the house and properly start my day. And you can imagine that doing meditation while you're thinking about all the meetings that you have and the tasks that you should do that day isn't very productive and helpful. So in a sense, I was feeling like I was wasting my time in the morning for something that was apparently good, but to me, that didn't seem to bring any positives. In the following months, obviously the kids grew up. I stopped going to badminton practice because it just didn't fit with my life anymore. I rather wanted to exercise in the morning or at lunchtime, and I tried to simplify my morning routine a lot. First, I stopped meditating. Nothing against meditation, I think it's a great tool, but for me it just didn't work at the time. The journaling I still do, not every day, but most of the days, but I do later. I do it right when I get to work. I open my journal on Notion, I write a couple of things that happened the day before or how I feel, and it's done. In 5 minutes, it's done. Push-ups, I still do them, but not every day and not as strict as before. As for reading, I've tried to shift it to the evenings. Now, at this point, you may say, there's no routine anymore. You just wake up and then what do you do? So here's my new routine, and I do the quotes because it's not really a routine. Like, I wake up at 5:30. It's every day. Even on the weekends, I wake up at 5:30, or I try. Some days I sleep in, but I try to wake up at 5:30. Then, as soon as I wake up, I stand up, I go to the bathroom, I drink some water, and then there are three options. If it's a workout day, then I get dressed, grab my stuff, and head to the gym right away. Nothing else. I do my workout, and that's kind of my morning routine, if you will. If it's not a gym day, I stand up and I take a shower, get dressed, and then I head to work. So I'll be at work at 6:15, 6:30, but straight to work. Now, if it's the weekend, sometimes I go to the gym on weekends, sometimes I don't. If I don't, then I'll still wake up early and I'll come down into the office and work on personal projects like my videos, or I'll do my taxes or research for holidays. I don't know, just something that feels productive. That's quite a radical change, right? I don't have as much pressure to follow this strict routine, and it just feels so natural. And I think it's because of one thing. This may be personal, but I think other people feel the same way. The one thing that I value in my morning routine, whether it's a gym day, a work day, or a weekend, the one thing is to do something. To do something productive, to make something, to craft, to just get started. Get started, work out, do something. And most of all, do something meaningful. When I look back at my old routine, I feel like I was missing out on something when I was reading or meditating. Again, reading and meditating are great, don't get me wrong. But I missed doing something, you're in control of that thing. And it was only after a year or more that I realized I didn't need to do what somebody else was trying to persuade me to do. I needed to do what I wanted to do. And nowadays, honestly, as long as I wake up early and do something productive right away, I'm happy, I feel good. Now, again, it might be the gym, it might be shooting a video, editing a video, it might be going for a walk, it might be going for an early run. It doesn't matter as long as I feel like I have done something that is meaningful and that helps me grow. There are two other things that I very much cherish in my mornings, and I try to implement on most days. I try to wake up early because I want to have time before the kids wake up or before my wife wakes up. I want to have this time. This time is so peaceful. You wake up, everything is so quiet, and this feels so good, I tell you. And then, if I can do something productive during this time, I have this feeling that I have achieved more than anybody else around me, and this is such a rewarding feeling, I promise you. Now, the second thing is that I try to stay away from my phone in the morning. Obviously, if I go to the gym, I'll take my phone with me, but I don't work out with my phone. I have my workouts on my watch. If I'm at work, well, I'm on my computer, I'm not on my phone. And I really try to stay away, because if I start scrolling on social media, then it becomes a waste of time. And I don't want this. I want to stay focused, again, on something that is meaningful. So yeah, in the end, my morning routine isn't really a routine if you ask all the productivity gurus on YouTube, but it feels right. It feels right to me. And honestly, I think it could be a good idea for you to try as well if you feel overwhelmed by cold plunges and 4 a.m. runs. Try it, see if it works for you, and if it doesn't, try something else. See you next time.